Best president, as far as I can remember, was Kennedy. He had a short term, but I mean, things seemed like it was just getting started and getting to amount to anything.
I think Roosevelt was the best president we ever had.
I don't know, if I had a preference, I'd say Nixon, but I mean, I don't know. We didn't have too much, ways of knowing what was going on or what was on the radio, and then they don't do it. And it wasn't like what they do now, whether it's good or bad, they tell you about it. But there's so many things that they would just, as they say, push under the rug. If you wasn't in it, you didn't know about it.
I don't know one president from the other.
Things have changed for women a lot now, because once women never went to work out anywhere, mostly, unless it was just going out to as midwives, or as my cousin told me, as wet nurses and things like that. And they stayed at home.
I think things have changed for women over the life, because they get better jobs and can do more and have better life and working and doing.
Anything that they needed, that their husband thought that they needed, he would buy it for them. He didn't give them money to get it. They had no money to spend. And then they wanted to be boss of everything. Things wasn't half and half like they, like it is now. Their husband had all the say. So that way, it has changed a lot for women. They have more say than what they had then. They're still trying to keep them down.
Or after my husband died, I still raise hogs and chickens and things like that to help me raise the garden. And all we had fruit trees where we could can stuff and all to help them out. And then my oldest son, he helped me a lot, and all my children helped me.
One disappointment was I couldn't, when they laid me off, on the base, I had plans for working longer and, retiring in government and things like that. So that was a big disappointment to me.
The hardest thing I ever had to do was to go in the woods and get wood and carry it back and forth to the house to have fire.
Thin corn, I can tell you that right in a minute. I see corn now about a foot tall. That's when we had to pull up all the corn into one hill, except 2 stalks. And now they don't do that. They just drill it right along, and that's the way they don't thin corn.
Some of it was about 1/4 of a mile and a little further at times.
It was hard on me because every time I put my head down, it seemed like it would blind me. So my Uncle Randolph, knew he wasn't getting much work out of me out there. So he would send me to the post office every day. I had to come all the way across the creek and come all the way over here to get the mail. But that was better than me being out there thinning corn. I hated it. I used to go up the tree and Montel would throw clods at you, make you come down. It was nice and cool up the tree.
Our saddest day of my life was when my mother passed away. It was our saddest day of my life because she was a mother and she stayed around and helped me so much, and she was so nice to me and all her children. It just felt like everything I had going just passed away.
Integration, I would say, because it opened a lot of doors to other things. And before that, I mean, you couldn't go here, you couldn't go there, you couldn't use this, you couldn't use that. If you went on the bus to go to Washington and you stop up the TB, they want you to go to the old toilet that they had outside, and which I never went to. I went inside, and you were always butting heads with somebody before integration. So if you went in the store, they wanted to wait on all the white people before they waited on you, especially if you didn't complain. And so I would say that was maybe the most important thing.
The most important lesson that I've learned in my life was to help other people and families out that needed help.
I don't know, but somebody came by here to interview me about something, and I didn't know I had that habit of that expression that I would use until I seen it wrote in the paper. And then I said, they shouldn't have added nothing to it. I said, that's nothing that I told them. And it wasn't 2 minutes before I had said it, and something said, you said it. And that's, I think it was, my goodness gracious. And I found, I mean, I was telling them about didn't have any shoes to wear to school, and it was so hard. I mean, putting cardboard in your shoes to try to get to school. And I said, my goodness gracious. And they wrote that in there, and I didn't know that I was using that much.
Well, I was born to listen to help others because I thought someday that I would need help and they would come to help me.